friends, it is a very big day today. It is a very big day because we are going to venture off the beaten path. Jumping the tracks, one might say. Exploring a new realm. These are the type of experiences you can expect on the RobertIDK channel. We are checking out a different animation channel today. One of you guys hit me up and told me to check out this channel. You were like, they're crazier than NSA. And I'm like, yeah, we'll have to see for ourselves. I don't know. So we're gonna find out if they are. ETU, expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected, people. I don't know what to expect. Aside from the unexpected, of course. We are gonna be looking at my mom and sister sneak in my room at night, which I think this thumbnail is probably making it seem more suggestive than it really is. If there's one thing I know about these animation channels, well, it's just they know how to clickbait well, and I don't. I'm really bad at it. But anyways, my mom and my sister sneak into my room at night. This is one of their most viewed videos, so I figured I just pick one of their most popular videos to give a whirl, and I decided on this one. So we're in this together right now. People, are you ready? ETU, RobertIDK, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, my name is Asher.
Wait, there's no subtitles, bro? Oh, okay. YouTube's coming in clutch, all right.
Hey there, my name is Asher.
Hi,
and
Asher.
I'm here to tell you about all the times that my mom and sister have acted strange around me.
All right.
And I don't
sounds
mean
pretty
just
strange already.
Strange, I mean strange. Like, that cannot be politically or morally correct.
Oh no.
Kind of strange.
Oh no. No, I promised the people this would not be suggestive, Asher, okay?
If you want, here's a little more about us. I live with my mom and my younger
far.
sister Mira. She's 3 years younger than me. My father kind of ran off a while ago, a little after my sister was born.
Okay.
My mom specifically works retail, and always has, since she was 17.
And she has pink anime hair like a normal mother does. Of course. Listen, there's no culture in the world, literally no culture in the world where just the average mom who works retail just has bright pink hair. That's not just the average mother, but these animation studios insist.
It's not the largest salary one can make, but it's better than nothing. Being a single parent to 2 kids and all. Sometimes she needs to take on side jobs to make ends meet.
Okay.
But my sister, who's 16, makes some really good money babysitting and dog sitting.
Good.
Our neighborhood is packed with large families.
Why does this look like every single My Story animated house ever? Am I right? Like, all of the, like, rich people houses that MSA has in their videos, this just looks like a screenshot of one of them.
Our neighborhood is packed with large families, most of which have at least 1 kid and 2 dogs.
Wow.
Sometimes she'll
There's a
help
lot
my
of
mom
dogs
out
in
when
the
she
streets.
needs. My mom isn't as close to my sister as she is me.
Aw.
It has to do with the whole father leaving after Mira was born thing. My mom probably will
There's the whole father leaving thing. Very casual, Asher. I think you might be downplaying, you know, just the whole marriage falling apart thing. No big deal. Just marriage and family falling apart.
My mom probably will never tell her what she truly thinks of her. I'm currently on break from college, which allows me more time with them. But to be honest, I didn't really want to go back home. But I also didn't live in a dorm to stay in, because that would mean college debt. I'll explain my college situation a little later.
Okay, I don't care about your college situation. I care about the main story.
When I came back home, my mom and sister were all over me again. They never left me alone.
All over
And I
you.
know exactly why. I don't like telling people this because it makes me seem like some conceited fool, but I suppose I'll start from the beginning.
Okay.
Before I was born, my mom is extremely unlucky in everything she ever did.
They were gonna say, I thought they were gonna say my mom dealt with the straps, you know? I thought that's what they were showing when they had the Draco on screen.
Don't pull out the Draco.
Don't pull out no gun now. All right. You gotta be careful now.
Before I was born, my mom is extremely unlucky in everything she ever did.
Oh, poor mom.
It was truly a miracle that she managed a career in retail without getting fired. Despite all of the things that went wrong for her, she constantly got laid off from paychecks as compensation for her poor work.
Aw.
The only thing
Is
she
that
was
legal?
lucky about then
Is that
was that she
legal?
didn't get fired. She went around and tried to win raffles, but in the end, she only lost more money.
Oh,
However,
no.
that all changed when I
Those
was
raffles will get you.
She was a working parent, same as my dad, who was there still. But her income was a lot less than his. However, my mother claims that the moment I came into this world, it's like a switch flipped. Once, she was tight on time, so she had to bring me with her. Her coworkers didn't mind, apparently. That day when she brought me, she did nothing different at her job.
Okay.
Yet she suddenly got a promotion which upped her pay. She believed it was because of me and started calling me her
Guardian
lucky
angel.
charm.
Lucky charm, okay.
There was one
Better
thing
than
that my
guardian
mom
angel.
always wanted, and that was a second child. But all the time she and my
Fam.
father tried, it was never successful. My mom swears by it. I don't remember this, but she told me one day that when I was 3, I told her I wanted a little baby sister, which was the first time she's ever heard me say that.
I've never been in that situation because I've always been the youngest kid and I knew that my parents were never gonna have another child after me. Because by the time I was 5, they were like 40 and like had already raised a whole generation of a child. So yeah, I've never experienced the thought of like, oh, I wish I had a baby brother. I wish I had a baby sister. Because just being the youngest, that's never a thought that's ever crossed my mind.
Which was the first time she's ever heard me say that. A few nights after that, she was pregnant with Mira. That
Whoa.
only increased her belief that I was a lucky charm, literally and figuratively. When Mira was born, a stroke of misfortune fell upon us.
Oh no.
My father left, and so did the income needed for the bills.
Oh no.
He didn't give the clearest of answers, but it had to do with more expenses with a second child.
Yikes.
Not to mention, he thought my mom was a gambling addict, considering the amount of money she spent on raffles.
True. If she's out here doing raffles all the time, I didn't catch how frequently she was doing these raffles, but yeah, if you're putting money into the lottery like every week or like raffles like every single week, it's like that is essentially gambling, and like you need to, I don't know, you just really need to look at how you're using your money, you know? If paying for lottery tickets or raffles or whatever makes it harder for you to pay for the things that you need in life, then yeah, you really gotta take a look, like take a step back and think about what you're doing.
My mom was devastated, but she didn't blame me. No, I was her lucky charm.
Mm-hmm.
The one she blamed
Is she gonna
was
do a
Mira.
raffle? And
But
oh
she never
no,
told
you
her.
can't blame the
And
other
neither did I.
child.
I don't think we'd ever tell her. There was this one singular event that made my mother's belief skyrocket.
Oh boy.
One time when I was
Gonna be
younger, my
something
mom couldn't
stupid.
find her earring. It was a small stud, so it could easily be missed. She turned the house upside down and flipped it inside out. I could hear her from the other side of the house. It got to a point where I just got up to see what was the matter. On the way there, in between the cracks of the hallway wood floor, was a
There it
tiny
is.
silver stud earring.
There it
At that
is.
time, I didn't know it was what my mom was looking for. I entered her bedroom
Really?
where
You
she
don't know
was
what an
and
earring
asked,
looks like, bro?
"Mom, what are you doing?" She was like, "I lost this tiny stud earring and I can't find it anywhere."
Oh.
I just held out my hand with the earring and asked if this was what she was looking for.
It must be a
Face looked completely floored. She was like,
Oh my gosh.
"How? I just looked there 10 times. How did you find them?" I just shrugged and handed her it.
That was so much more convincing than how MSA would do it. He's straight, rather than, so if it's a female character pretending to be a male character, they will, like that's how they'll do it. This guy just went full flex all the way in on this character. That's not even what you do when you tell a story about someone else. You don't act out exactly the emotions that they were conveying. That was hilarious. We need to catch that one more time. That caught me off guard.
She was like, "What? How? I just looked there 10 times. How did you find them?"
What? You can't start a sentence with, she was like, and then do a whole drama of it and just perfectly voice act this moment of despair. You can't just be like, yeah, then my mom was like, oh my God, how did you find them? Bro, chill. One more time.
How? I just looked there 10 times. How did you find them? I just shrugged and handed her it. She looked at it for a moment before she looked up at me. She then said, "God, you are my lucky charm. What would I do without you?" And that's where the deep-rooted belief began. Anyways,
I
my
want
luck
more of
continued
that
to
in
prove
the
my
rest of
mother's
this
point.
video.
At my middle school, there was a raffle going on.
Oh no.
I remember my mom telling
no,
me
she's
she
gonna win
enjoyed
this
them,
one, obviously.
but never won anything. I'd never done one before, so I did.
Yep, he's
I
gonna
put my
win.
name and number on most of the raffle
He's
tickets.
gonna win.
At least the things that interested me. I didn't really anticipate anything coming out of it.
Uh-huh.
The whole thing was based on
Except you're in a
chance.
you didn't expect.
Didn't really anticipate anything coming out of it.
I didn't really expect anything to come out of it. Oh yeah? You didn't expect it? Well, here's the thing, Asher. This is what channel we're on. ETU. Expect the unexpected, baby. Woo!
I didn't really anticipate anything coming out of it. The whole thing was based on chance. What were the chances of me winning anything? Well, apparently all of them. Each of the raffle tickets I had submitted were the ones picked.
Wow.
When I came home with all the things I managed to win, my mom was absolutely shocked. What were the odds? Truly. My sister wasn't very
wanted
super-
it. No, voice act what your mom said. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, Asher. I can't believe you won the raffle. Like, I want more of that narrator. You crazy for that one. You can't just give us that one moment of Shakespearean compelling experience.
My sister wasn't very superstitious to begin with, but I think that fueled it to a level comparable to my mom. In fact, with the addition of my sister, it got worse. After that, she forced me to come to other events.
This is why they're gonna sneak into his
room. She made me
room.
participate in everything that regarded material items that would be useful to us, and money. You probably couldn't even imagine her joy when I managed to win everything we submitted.
No way. Okay, now the universe is getting involved. Now you're adding in fantasy elements, Asher. Don't try to convince the people that this is what happens when you enter these things. You can't. Don't be promoting that mentality, Asher. Oh, people, this video is really crazy so far. You know, it would be really fun is if you helped me out real quick and you booped that like button if you're having a good time. If you're having a good time and you boop that like button, it will make me happy. Thank you so much. That would be cool.
She dragged me to her high school football games, claiming that it would help her school win. I told her that was crazy.
Y'all really holding
There's
hands
no way that my luck would
as
transfer
brother
from
and
mere
sister
raffle
when you're that
tickets,
old?
which was based on chance, to football games, which was based on skill and training. Well, apparently I was wrong. Because the game I just so happened to attend, my sister's high school won. That one game managed to convince my sister that I was a quote-unquote lucky charm as well.
Oh my gosh, it's the same. It's like the same thing.
To think about. Sure, I suppose someone could be lucky in a moment, but not inherently lucky. My mom and sister didn't agree with that at all. They thought I was some sort of god or something.
Oh my gosh.
Some sort of god.
Well, maybe not that extreme, but the way they showered me with compliments, dragged me everywhere they could, made people think they were worshiping me or something. I got uncomfortable with what they were doing, and how they were doing it. But they'd always say, "You're our lucky charm.
You're a lucky
You
charm.
have to be
Gotta
so
bring you
close to
everywhere.
you, otherwise it'll wear off."
You're the reason that we
As
got
if
pink
that's a
hair
valid
genes in the
excuse.
family, sir.
Anyways, the point of this is that the first night I came home for winter break, I had something absolutely unbelievable happen to me.
Oh boy.
My room was exactly how I left it 2 semesters ago.
Wow.
However, this is
Oh.
where it gets strange.
This is where it gets strange. It's exactly how I left it, but it almost feels like my mom and my sister snuck in my room at night. I just have a hunch. Don't ask me how. I could have this premonition, but I'm feeling lucky, okay?
This is where it gets strange.
Strange.
All 3 of us have our own separate rooms. We have never, ever shared a bed.
What a weird drawing.
Even while camping. We all liked our personal space. Well, the night that I came home, I went to sleep a little earlier than usual.
Okay.
I was tired, and it was break. So I figured I might as well get as much sleep as humanly possible. I went to bed around 9 at night. I never locked my door. There
Why?
really was no reason.
What?
My mom
Lock
and
your
sister
doors,
respected my
fam. Don't be
privacy
silly.
And never came into my room without knocking first. Or at least announcing their presence. At first, everything was perfectly fine and normal. Nothing was out of place. Nothing was out of sorts. But it was in the middle of the night that I woke up to the most embarrassing thing ever.
Uh-oh.
I'm usually a pretty heavy sleeper. Usually. But that one night, apparently my heavy sleeping failed me.
Why?
I'm pretty
What
sure I woke up
happened,
because I
bro?
heard snoring. Took a little to actually open my eyes, and when I did,
They want lucky sleeps.
there wasn't a lot of light. So I had to try
They
to turn
want
on a
lucky
light.
sleeps.
Except my arm was being held down by something. Or someone.
Someone.
That's also when I noticed another person on my right. I looked at my door and saw that it was closed and still unlocked. I then looked at my window, but saw it perfectly intact and closed.
Okay,
So
you're going into
no one
way
broke
too much
in.
detail.
Even if they did, who would break into someone's house to cuddle?
Bro, no, okay, you don't have that much time to have this intricate thought process the moment this happens. He's going into all of this detail. Like, bro, you didn't have that much time to think this deep about it. His arm gets grabbed and then time freezes.
Oh no, what's going on? I didn't lock my door, but it wouldn't be any of my friends. The window isn't shattered, so nobody could have broken in while I was sleeping in the middle of the night. I truly wonder what this could be.
You don't have time to have that thought.
Finally was able to pull my arm out of the person's grasp and lean to the side enough to turn the light on. The two people in my bed weren't some randos who managed to find a
Okay,
peaceful
you've
way into
already
my-
shown them. This is not how you reveal a twist. You've already shown the characters. Don't show the character. If you're trying to, it wasn't two random strangers. If you're trying to set it up for like a moment, you don't show the people. Don't show who it is before you're done explaining.
weren't some randos who managed to find a peaceful way into my house. It was my mom and sister.
Whoa.
The first thing I felt was absolute disgust and mortification.
Ugh.
I had no idea what to do, or how to get out of that situation as calmly and as rationally.
Okay, ETU, listen, ETU, I respect you. You guys are doing good, but man, this drawing is... all the people who have been in beds in this video, it doesn't look anything like they're in that bed. This looks ridiculous. I thought that the first time it showed them in the bed, like way earlier in the video, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say. But now I'm sorry. I just have to roast you on this one. I have to.
I had no idea what to do, or how to get out of that situation as calmly and as rationally as possible.
Okay.
First off, those two have never done anything like that. Not without my permission, let alone at night, all sleeping together in the same bed.
Now you're acting mad as if it just happened. You're telling us the story.
Next to me. I then proceeded to violently push her out of the bed. The thump and impact was enough to wake her up with a jolt and a scream.
Yeah, makes
And that
sense.
jolt and scream was enough to wake up my mother with a shout. It was complete chaos.
Wow.
As soon as they woke up, I demanded. That's right, demanded,
An
not
explanation.
asked. Why they were sleeping in my room, let alone in my bed.
Man,
My mother didn't seem fazed
go
in the
for it,
least.
Asher.
In fact, she turned to me, smiled, and said, "You're our lucky charm. If we sleep with you, our luck will amplify." Which, first
No,
off, absolutely.
I'm not your lucky charm. You're. I don't know if I can say that one.
If we sleep with you, our luck will amplify. Which, first off, absolutely horrified me. I looked at my sister and was like, "You went along with this?" Even in the dim lighting, I could tell her face was getting red. I hoped it was out of embarrassment. All she said was, "Well, you haven't been home." She said it pretty quietly, but I heard her.
Oh, they were sleeping in his bed when he wasn't. I mean, that doesn't make it normal regardless. However, here's the thing. You should tell the guy ahead of time. Like, it's a pretty big difference when you're sleeping in someone's bed while they're not around, and then suddenly they're back home, and then you go back and sleep in there again. Two completely different issues. Completely different. The fact that you thought you could just continue that routine when Asher came back makes no sense, woman. Crazy woman.
She said it pretty quietly, but I heard her. My mom told me it's not weird for a parent to sleep with their children.
Yes, it
and
is
that
when
I should
they're
be more
like
accepting
16.
rather than question them. I had no
What?
problem with sleeping next to them. But the difference was we usually slept together on the couch, a space big enough for all of us to lie comfortably and spread out if need be.
Really? Your
On my
couch
bed,
is bigger than
which was
your
just a queen
bed?
mattress. Jamming all three of us on there was uncomfortably stifling and awkward. I asked my mom-
Uncomfortably stifling. Okay, who wrote this script? Because I know it ain't no one from MSA. I know it ain't no one from MSA. It was uncomfortably stifling.
Jamming all three of us on there was uncomfortably stifling.
No one in MSA would ever use that terminology. All right, ETU, but hey, you gotta expect the unexpected with these guys, you know? You never know what to expect unless it's the unexpected.
I asked my mom why she couldn't have just woken me up to go sleep on the couch. And her excuse was,
Cause we're insane,
so cute
son.
sleeping in your bed. I couldn't resist. If I told this story directly to any of my friends, it would come off severely wrong and be misinterpreted without a doubt.
I don't think there's
I then asked my
misinterpretation.
sister
I
why
think it's
she,
interpretation.
Of all people would ever agree to this. She wasn't one for a lot of physical affection, so the fact that she crawled into a bed with my mom, let alone me, was a shocker. She just kind of mumbled something along the lines of, because I wanted to. Like, excuse me? That's not a reason. I'd hoped that they knew how insane and ridiculous they sounded.
Yeah.
A 16-year-old girl sleeping
I want
with
more
her...
crazy voice acting, bro. I want more crazy voice acting.
Hoped that they knew how insane and ridiculous they sounded. A 16-year-old girl sleeping with her 19-year-old brother, and a 43-year-old woman sleeping with her 19-year-old son? That has CPS written all over it.
Oh my gosh.
Do they get how, inappropriate that sounds? Let alone is?
Sounds,
Realize how
let alone
crazy you sound?
is.
Go back to your own bed. She just shook her head and said, no, I'm sleeping with you whether you like it or not. And I was like, well, I don't. And if you do, I'm leaving and sleeping somewhere else.
Whoa. I'm leaving and sleeping somewhere. Is it that easy to just find somewhere else to sleep than your own bed? Literally, I couldn't find another place to sleep if something happened with my house. I couldn't just find another place to sleep. Is it that easy?
Yes.
Anyways, these are not the questions I should be asking during this.
Oh, I don't. And if you do, I'm leaving and sleeping somewhere else. I sounded like a parent. It was like the roles suddenly reversed, and I was dealing with a child not wanting to go back to their own bed.
Yeah, that's
I
very
may have been
strange.
lucky to them, but surely my own luck liked to turn against me. Why else would this be happening? I then turned my head to Mira, hoping that at least she would go back to her own bed and leave me alone. All she gave me was a non-committal shrug and went, I go wherever mom goes. Great. Wonderful.
Crazy people. Crazy. It's crazy people. Guys, if you're watching this video and you're wondering if you yourself are like, sometimes I feel like a crazy person. No, you ain't a crazy person. These are crazy people. These are crazy people. Also, I just realized how nice it is to use my normal talking volume in my voice, and I never do it on videos. But this is how I speak in like the real world to real people that aren't internet people like you. It's called projecting. Look it up. We are strongly off topic here. I greatly apologize, people.
And when I go wherever mom goes. Great. Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Lovely. There was no way of getting rid of them. The two crawled back into bed with me and went out like lights immediately after.
Out like
However,
a light.
I stayed up. I couldn't sleep. How could I?
Sleep
I
in
was in an
their bed, bro. Just swap it out. You have to accept, Asher. They took your room. Now you gotta take their room, you know? Two can play that game. Only one of us is the creep because one of us is being a creep and the other's doing it out of necessity.
How could I? I was in an unfortunate and unlovely position. That's when I started to wonder
An
just
unfortunate and unlovely position? Is this script translated from another language? No one says I was in an unlovely position. Have you ever heard a person, a human being on Earth say that? And if you have, no you haven't, quit capping.
That's when I started to wonder just how far my mom's superstition of me being lucky went. If she went as far as to make her child uncomfortable and invade his personal space, what other lengths would she go to? To ensure her luck wouldn't run out? I didn't want to find out. I was afraid to. People do a lot of crazy things when driven by want or need or greed. Unfortunately, though, that wasn't the first time they've done crazy things to me.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And then there's a part 2. There's a part 2. Guys, this isn't over. There's a part 2. Do we do the part 2? Do we do the part 2? Please let me know in the comments if you want me to do the part 2. Okay, so very different from MSA. I will say at the beginning, it was a bit jarring not having the production level that MSA has with like the music and the constant motion. Like MSA videos are crisp right now. So it did take a bit of getting used to looking at this style and not hearing their music. I'm gonna put in music for you guys on this video. And then of course, the way that some of them spoke.
Jamming all 3 of us on there was uncomfortably stifling, and I was in an unfortunate and unlovely position.
It's just some terminology that they used was so wacky to me. It was just so like, it took me out of it because it just reminded me it was a script, you know? But overall, that was definitely different and a lot more suggestive than recent MSA videos. I will say there's probably a lot more to learn in an MSA video, but if you just want to be weirded out, so far, these guys are the guys. Go check out ETU. They're the ones who made this wonderful video. I was just a silly Billy reacting to it. Here is our whole playlist of animation reactions. Check it out if there's any episodes you haven't seen. And here's a video that YouTube thinks you specifically will like. Are they right? Let me know. I love y'all. Peace. My snapping has been so bad lately.